Hello, besties. Welcome back to a new episode of Dare to Overshare, where oversharing is a love language. You know me. I like to spill the tea. I like to hear the tea. And today I have a really good friend of mine here. I'm really excited because she's supposed to have been on my podcast like ages ago on like my old podcast when I used to do Your Best Friend Jackie. But I finally have her at the perfect time. Health and wellness girly, but a little spicy too. Zamaria Thompson. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me. It's been a long time coming, so I'm so grateful
I know.
finally. But I feel like it was meant to happen now, you know?
Yeah, everything does always happen when it's supposed to. Yeah. And that's what I love about you and our friendship is we do have like very similar mindsets on things like that. Like the whole like we're both a little woo-woo but still pretty grounded, I would say, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
plus like you and I have gotten so much closer, you know, so I feel like it's nice now versus your old podcast.
I agree. Okay, so let's start with a vibe check. So how are you feeling? How are you doing? Like, give me the actual like realness. Like, what are you going through right now?
Wow. I mean, I had such a chill night last night. Then this morning I went to a burn class, which is like hot Pilates. I'm obsessed. If you haven't done Burn LA hot Pilates, it's like
Burning Man party. You said a burn party. I was
burn.
Like,
it does sound very like burn. No, it's like near infrared LED lights and blue light, I think. And then it's like heated mat Pilates, but it's so freaking hard. So I did that and then quickly took a quick body shower, rocking my like mermaid whatever hair. And then I'm here. So now I did take like 5 seconds in my car to just like take a deep breath to fully like be present in this moment. But yeah.
So how do you feel about being on a podcast? I know like before we even started recording, you said I'm a little nervous about oversharing. And I was like, well, you're gonna do it. So how are you feeling about that? Like, are you actually feeling a little nervous?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think it's like a good nervous. It's more so just like making sure that I'm sharing something that's from a place of like connection and vulnerability that hopefully help somebody out there, or I don't know. And I think sometimes it's like that fear of being seen, right? And as an influencer, content creator, somebody that like has been in the social media space for a long time, sometimes people are like, oh, do you ever get shy or scared? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that ever goes away. And I'm sure you relate, right? And then I think as we get older, sometimes it gets a little bit tricky to like know what to share and what to keep to yourself, right? Because
I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah.
I shared everything. And that's why I have this podcast, because I like the oversharing, and I know that sometimes you can overshare. I think what it is you can overshare to the wrong people. I don't think you can overshare to the right people. If people that you really trust, that you're really vulnerable with, like there's probably nothing that I can say to you that I feel like is too much of an overshare. I feel like you can just kind of let me be and let me share it, vice versa. But I think there are certain people where you do overshare something and they take that information and then they either use it against you or they go gossip about it,
right?
Or they judge you.
Yeah.
And that makes you scared to overshare.
Totally. And yeah, I mean, me coming from a background of like working in the corporate wellness world of managing social media pages and doing strategy and things like that, I also have that side of my head that's always like, how do I want to market myself? Because at the end of the day, like social media is kind of like your business card now, you know, like we judge people based on what they put out there. So, you know, when it comes to like relationships or something that like is difficult, it's like the whole world doesn't need to know your dirty laundry. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I think I always just like try to do a gut check and share again, like whatever feels, I call it pings. Like if I get the ping to like share something, then I'm like, okay, maybe it's meant to like help somebody, support somebody. So we're just going to let it flow today.
I mean, speaking of dirty laundry, it doesn't have to be dirty necessarily. It can be clean laundry, but let's get into the overshare that you've been pondering on. What is it today that you would like to overshare with the whole world?
Yeah. So something that I've been kind of thinking about lately is like, in what areas of my life am I playing small? And what does true alignment feel like to me? Because I feel like we've overused the word, oh, it's not in alignment. Oh, that doesn't feel in alignment. It's like, really, Jackie, like, does it feel in alignment? Like, what does that actually feel like in your body? And I honestly had this epiphany on my way to Costa Rica on the airplane. I took a gummy, transparently, and was listening to music. And I don't know, it just kind of came up. But like, I feel like sometimes maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Like, if I'm saying like, oh, that doesn't feel in alignment, does it not feel in alignment because it's making me uncomfortable, because it's like forcing me to change something that I know I need to change and it's going to be good for my like future self? Or is it not in alignment because my intuition is telling me that it's wrong? So like being more aware of what that feels like. And for me personally, what I've found is that it usually means that a decision like if it's not in alignment, it feels contracting and like makes me sick to my stomach a little bit, versus like if it is in alignment and maybe a little bit scary, but in a good way, then it's like expansive, you know? So that's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. What do you?
So great.
Yeah.
I love this because I have the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm very big on follow your intuition, follow your gut. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And like, I say that a lot. And yeah, I like to live that way. But sometimes it's hard to feel what the difference is, just like what you're saying. And I'm going to talk about human design for a second.
Yes.
And obviously me and you have a mutual friend. Shout out to Lexi, who's really big on human design. I know for my own self, and if you don't know what human design is, and if you're listening, pause this real quick and actually go and like Google that first, because this won't make any sense. But I'm a projector, and I know that for me, I have to listen to my feelings and emotions to make the right decision. And I used to think that I had to listen to my gut, quote unquote, but it's actually really, I have to listen to my emotion.
Yes.
So what I learned about myself over the last like year or two is that when I feel a strong emotion about something, like a decision, maybe like a job offer or a relationship or whatever, if I feel something right away, I know that I have to wait a few days to see if that feeling still feels that way.
Interesting.
And if I still feel that way, like let's say 2 to 3 days later, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know that was my intuition.
Yeah.
But if I feel differently a few days later, or I'm ruminating on it a lot, what I realize is that the feeling I had in the moment was just like a reaction based on a maybe fear or based on something. So anyways, that's for me.
Yeah.
So for your human design, I don't remember.
I'm a generator.
So do you know what you're like, where you're supposed to feel?
Yeah. So I am a gut person and like my sacral chakra, but so usually for me it is like very visceral. Like it's just like I almost get chills, right? It's like that feeling of like, like I'm so excited, but holy shit type of feeling. But again, like I've been realizing that even I've been guilty of saying it too much, of like, no, it doesn't feel in alignment. It's like, well, Zamaria, what does that actually feel like?
Like, what does that mean to you?
Yes, because I think we do use it sometimes when we're really just keeping ourselves small. And I guess to get to like the climax of my overshare, I feel like I've realized that I'm afraid of my own potential a little bit. And I'm kind of going through this like career shift of like quitting my 9-to-5 job, working like behind the scenes, growing social media pages for brands, to focusing more on my career, what I want, what lights me up, my passions and dreams. And I find myself like struggling to let go of that. And when I think about like, okay, Zamaria, when you actually like fully untangle from working for other people, taking on other projects, like what is that going to be like? And when I imagine it, it makes me really excited and like, holy shit, that's like but like scary, you know? It's like I'm hanging on the edge of a cliff and I'm like, do I jump? Do I not jump? Do I jump? Do I not jump? Anyway, so yeah, just like alignment in general is something that I've been thinking about a lot, and just like not playing small to keep myself comfortable.
Isn't it crazy how we can actually be scared of the thing that we want the most because we don't know? It's like you're not used to doing that. You're used to doing a certain thing. You're used to working 9 to 5. You're used to just basically being told like, hey, I need you to do this, this, and this. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, now I have to like tell myself what to do.
Totally.
And that is a struggle, because I deal with the same thing where it's like that struggle of like, do you want to just take the route of working for a company, having a stable paycheck, just doing the bare minimum that you need to do to have the job, and like that's fine. That's a choice, and that's totally fine. And then there's also like doing things for yourself and like being an entrepreneur, having a business, and then that sounds amazing, but it also sounds so terrifying.
Yes, yeah, and I didn't know this, but apparently, or maybe it's like a known thing, the most addictive thing other than like drugs is a paycheck, like a stable paycheck.
Money.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of people like struggle letting go of their toxic jobs or whatever. And I actually had it really good because I loved my 9 to 5. Like it is like I have the privilege of working with really great brands. So that made it even harder to leave. But ever since I did like quit, a lot of amazing things have come, you know, that are like, it's almost like that when you say no to something that isn't aligned, like stuff that is aligned and stuff that is meant to be, you make space for like what is actually aligned. So it's been really exciting to see that just like unfold, but also just terrifying, and leaning into that fear of like, okay, I have no idea. Like a lot of people are like, so what do you want to do? What are you doing? Like, what's your plan? And I'm like, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing, but I know what I want my future to feel like. And that's what I always tell people, like, focus on what you want your future or your job or your career. Like, if you don't know what you want to do with your life, focus on what you want it to feel like rather than what you want it to look like.
That's a great way to manifest.
Totally.
That's because sometimes people are very sure of exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And like, that's cool. And like, that's like kind of almost easier, because you can just chase those goals step by step until you get there. And then sometimes you don't know, but you do know what you do know, maybe the type of lifestyle you want to live, the kind of flexibility and freedom, the kind of money you want to have, maybe where you want to be. And I think that's such a cool way to manifest something. Because you will make decisions based on, does that align with the feeling of what I want to feel?
Exactly.
And that you really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
But what are you most scared of? If you could sum up your fear in like one sentence, like what's like the thing that you would say is like, what are you actually afraid of?
Honestly, I think it's like fully being seen. And again, funny, because I'm like, my career is like my life, sharing it on social media. But it's like that fear of being seen by thousands of people or like millions of people. Like I've had TikToks go viral, and like the comments that, the comment section sometimes are like, what?
A lot.
Like how people being perceived by millions of people, it like you have to be solid in who you are and your confidence. And I am, like, I've always been a pretty confident person. But yeah, I think just like fully being seen is always scary. 'Cause I'm not really afraid of failure. Like, what does that even mean? Right. I think failure is part of the process.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna fail multiple times. Whenever people call me lucky or like whatever, I'm like, I have failed 20 times before I got to this point. And that's like not scary to me. Like, whatever, worst case scenario, I have to get another job. Like, okay, you know?
You have the experience.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just that fear of like fully being seen and like being vulnerable. It's funny because, and you and I have talked about this before, but like my whole thing is like, I'm happy, fit, Zam. Like I'm really optimistic. And I always have been this way. Like anybody that's known me since I was little, I've just always been like a glass half full type of person, and like to look at the brighter side of things. But one of my biggest fears is pain and like feeling. I'm a 7 on the Enneagram, if you're familiar with that, which are you?
Like life path or no?
No, it's like another thing. But anyways,
Thing to dig into later.
yeah. My greatest fear is, or like the thing that I struggle with most is feeling negative emotions and even allowing myself to feel negative emotions. Like as I've gotten older and like dug into self-work and stuff, I've realized that I gaslight myself into being like, no, why am I sad? I should be grateful. Like, why am I feeling this way? But I would say over the past like 3 years or so, I've really learned how to like face my emotions head on and like process my emotions. I got my heart broken at the beginning of 2024. It was like the first time that I started dating somebody that I like really allowed myself to like put my walls down and let him in. And I'm really grateful for that relationship, even though it didn't last, because it taught me how to open up my heart again. And it hurt like hell because I was like, okay, I'm going to let myself like fall for this guy. And then I did. And then things didn't work out. Like nothing really bad happened or anything. We ended on good terms, but it hurt. And instead of running away, because in the past, whenever I would end things with a guy or whatever, I would like book a trip or like distract myself. I'd be like, okay, we're going out. Like I would just, like pretend like I was fine. My friends would be like, Zam, are you sad? And I'd be like, I'm good. Like whatever, But with him, it was the first time that I really was like, fuck, this sucks. Like I'm really going to allow myself to like feel this heartbreak. And Jackie, I literally had days where I was just like laying on the ground, like crying and like laying and just like I remember feeling like really feeling heartbreak probably for the first time ever, like fully. And looking back now, it was so minor, but like, cause I wasn't like in love, but I like really fell for this guy. Anyway, yeah. So just like feeling pain is hard, but it's so necessary because on the other side of that is like the greatest joy and the greatest happiness. And you always grow on the other side,
Yeah, no, that was a great overshare as well. I really do think it's so important to allow yourself to feel all those feelings, even though they're not pleasant. Nobody enjoys being sad, but it's kind of like once you fully get it out, now it's so much easier to move on. And now you are able to open your heart up more easily because you just like went through opening it up. And even though it didn't work out, you like know the feeling of opening it up.
Totally.
Like, doesn't it feel so good to just have your heart space just like be glowing?
Yes.
And like flowing and all that.
And all that.
All that.
Yeah. Like it has given me a greater capacity to love others and like the relationships that I have manifested into my life since him, even just like dates here and there, have been great.
Well, I'm happy. Thank you for that overshare. We're gonna move on to hot takes only, which is one of my favorites. We're gonna get a hot take from Zam, but first I just want to say thank you to my sponsors here from Sunset Drip Coffee. So if you like to take your coffee on the go, you want a fun little Vietnamese coffee, and by the way, their packaging is so cute.
We should try it.
Yeah, we can crack it open. And if you want to get $5 off, y'all, just head to their Instagram, their website, and type the word Jackie. You will get that $5. We can crack here, but let's do a little ASMR.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
We have different ones. I have the cold brew Vietnamese coffee.
And I have the condensed milk Vietnamese cold brew, which is delish. Cheers. A little episode caffeine break before because the hot takes is going to take some energy. So. So good. Okay. Slurp, slurp.
Do you guys like ASMR? I like ASMR.
I love it.
I'm always like,
here.
So intrigued.
We love ASMR. Sam, give me your hot take.
Okay.
So hot take on any subject, anything, something that most people maybe wouldn't agree with or would find a little crazy.
Okay. Hot take number 1 is kind of health and wellness related.
Okay.
Greens powders and like when they claim bloating, whatever, BS. Okay, don't waste your money. I said it. Focus on real foods. Like, stop I'm in the supplement space, okay?
Help with bloating because I don't know what is going on with me. And it's not like you can sit here and diagnose what it is. I get it. Like, it could be so many different things. So, but you're saying like don't, and that's the thing is I don't take any like powders and things like that. But I don't know, girl, what to do about this bloat. And I'm sure a lot of other people out there are like, how do I, like, what do I try? What do I do?
Yeah. So a lot of the time a lot goes into play that I would say start with like drinking a lot of water, taking a really good probiotic, or like even digestive bitters, or like apple cider vinegar in a big water. But I feel like it's really energetic as well. Like women especially hold a lot of stress and tension in their stomachs. And it could be a multiple thing. Like I feel like the most helpful thing is like doing a test of like if you have any sensitivities, but also testing for like if you have low stomach acid, like if you struggle with belching a lot, farting a lot. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Here,
like,
what do you always say? Hot girls have
stomach issues. Hot girls have stomach issues.
Like a t-shirt. Hot girls have stomach issues.
It's true. God can't make us perfect. It's fine. But yeah, I would say like apple cider vinegar really helps. Like if you have low stomach acid, papayas, like papaya seeds, making sure you eat like fermented foods, but not too many. Like sometimes fermented foods aren't good for everybody. So that's another thing. It's really bio-individual, like depending on who you are. So it's hard.
It's a lot of trial and error, and it's tough because if you go to like a regular Western doctor, they'll be like,
totally,
you're bloated, take some Tums. It's like, okay, no, but like, I don't want to do that.
No,
you know what I mean?
No. Your body needs less, not more. I feel like focus on eating single ingredient foods and like drinking a lot of water. Stop drinking as much alcohol or caffeine. Listen,
for me it's caffeine.
I'm preaching to the choir here.
I love coffee. I will say I love coffee. But I'm like, even when I cut it out, I still feel like I'm bloated. But I just have to, I don't know what I have to do now. Think about
also just like taking a few deep breaths before you start eating and like being more mindful to eat without distractions, I think is huge. Like when you're eating, it's such a sacred act because you're fueling your body to like live and keep you functioning and living. So it's like the next time you eat a meal, try to eat with no distractions. Take a few deep breaths before you eat, especially if you struggle with overeating. Or eating too fast, which again, I'm preaching to the choir. We're all guilty of it. I don't care who you are. Just take a few deep breaths. I feel like that activates your digestion, your parasympathetic nervous system, and really helps.
I love that. I love that advice. Also, what I really like to do, which I don't do enough, and I do it every time I do it, I feel really good about this, but I don't do it all the time, which is right before I eat, I will just say, I mean, some people say grace or whatever you call it, but I'll be like, hey, I'm thankful for these ingredients. Or like, thank you to the farmers who like, you know, helped pick these crops, or like the people at the stores who package them, who like stand on their feet all day to like sell them to me. So I'll take like a minute and just do that. And then I feel like that makes me so appreciative of what I'm eating. Dude, so maybe I just need to focus on that more. I'm going to like make it a daily habit.
Even if it's one of your meals. Like sometimes my breakfast and lunch is a little like on the go, rushed. But I always try to do at least like my dinner, you know, or like your breakfast, whatever works best for you. Like do that. But yeah, another thing that I just want to say is like, that I wrote down and I really wanted to say it is, don't be afraid to ask the universe for more.
Yeah.
Because it's not on a budget. The universe is not on a budget. You can have anything you want, everything you desire. I feel like we oftentimes are like scared to be too, I don't know. Somebody was like, well, I don't know if I want to make a lot of money one day, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why? Who said you can't? Like, why do you have that story in your head? Do you not feel worthy? And it's like, I feel like a lot of us are like scared to ask for too much. What the fuck does that mean? You can have too much. Like,
make you greedy.
No, literally.
You know what I always say is, just because you have a lot or you can have a lot doesn't mean someone else is going to have less.
Exactly.
People misinterpret having a lot of money as, oh, well, then I'm taking away from others. No, you're not taking away from others. The universe is an endless pit. An endless pit of money. And yeah, you can think about the matrix and say, yeah, but there's only so many dollars printed and inflation and I don't know,
blah, blah.
right now, the, oh my God.
Tariffs.
Yeah, I was like, what's the word?
The recession.
Like
whatever.
all of that matrix stuff. It's happening and it's real. And I completely get that. And I'm not taking away from the fact that those things are happening.
Right.
But if you think about those things too much, your mindset is now lack. So like, yeah, why wouldn't you want to have a lot of money? If anything, maybe some people just are minimalist and that's okay. They don't need, mansion with 5 rooms and 10 cars, and that's fine. But imagine what good you can do in the world if you make more money, even if you don't want it for yourself. But you're a good person, you can now help those in need.
Yes.
So why not make more?
And that's what I tell people too, is like, you don't think about the cars or whatever. If that's what you want, great. But like for me, it's always like the more I have, the more other people have. Like the more I can spend time with my family or support my loved ones or like help others. And yeah, that's like what fuels me, right? And it's like, it doesn't need to be, because I live pretty minimal. Like I don't spend money outside of my means like crazy. But yeah, just like allow yourself to want and desire everything you want because you deserve it.
Yeah,
everyone
deserves
deserves
you a bad person to want more.
Exactly.
Now, if you're ungrateful for what you have now and you want more, that's going to be an issue.
Period.
If you are grateful for what you currently have and you want more, you can have more.
Yes. Like
there's agreeing back there behind the
like coming from a place of already being fulfilled and grateful for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
Because otherwise it's like if you're coming from a place of, oh man, if only I had an extra 100,000, then my life would be great.
Right.
Well, then like, yeah, of course your life's not going to be great right now because that's where you're operating from. Cool. That was another hot take. I love that. Did you, or you have two or you have?
No, that's it.
Okay, love that. Those are great.
My hot takes.
So I want to move on to ask and you shall receive. So sometimes I get questions from my followers to ask. And then I just recently decided that I also want to intermix some of the questions that I ask on my podcast TikTok, Dare to Overshare podcast on TikTok. Follow me, guys. I post questions. You like it?
Yeah.
I post questions on there. By the way, she's talking about the coffee. If you guys are just listening to the audio and you're not watching the video. So I post questions on my TikTok, and the ones that get a lot of response, a lot of comments, I decided I'm going to ask some of those questions here because clearly they're getting a lot of engagement.
Yeah.
So the question that I chose for you that I already posted on my TikTok is, when you're dating someone new, how long do you personally wait before you do a soft or hard launch?
Oh my God, this is good. This is good.
Things I think about, and like I got a lot of response on that TikTok. People were all over the board, from like I'll never post them ever to like 4 months to hey, I'm married and I still haven't posted my person. So there's
Ooh, interesting. So on my TikTok at HappyFitZam, I actually do talk a lot about dating and relationships. I don't know. I think it definitely depends on the person. Like, I'm not somebody that is like definitive. Whatever feels right and good to you, do that. Who cares what everyone says? But I will say that the more opinions and, again, being perceived by others, like, you're inviting those people into your relationship. So for me personally, I think I like to enjoy it for myself and for my partner, like, for a while before we make it a thing of like, oh, people are asking about you or whatever, like incorporating him into my content, which is also going to be really fun whenever that happens. But I don't know. I say, like, if I'm really in love and like it feels super aligned, which that's all I'm inviting into my life now, then maybe like within I would say like soft launch, like 6 months.
Okay. Because everyone is so different. There are really people that just like, they want to keep it private, which I totally get and respect. And I have no...
I'm not like that. I have to share.
And a lot of the times, to be fair, a lot of the times people, not all the time, but people that post a lot they have a lot of problems and you can't even tell. And then people that never post their significant other are like the happiest couples. So it really doesn't matter how much you post or what you post.
Right.
I personally, I'm an oversharer. That's what I am.
And plus, like, when you're a lover girl like us, I feel like we want to share. You know, we're like,
you're excited.
Yeah.
So I'm also very much like, I don't want to do it too soon to where like you do want to be sure that that person is going to be part of your life. Now, granted, I've posted every relationship I've ever been in my life and then have deleted all the content when that relationship happens. And I've never been embarrassed about it.
No.
I never felt weird or bad about it. And of course, people ask questions and they're like, what happened? Kind of annoying, like staying in your lane, but also I understand why somebody would ask because I'm the one posting, so I'm fighting that. So I think that it really depends on how comfortable you are with people potentially asking. Now, you don't have to answer any questions either. You can just ignore them too. But I do think that like,
exactly,
you know what I mean?
It really depends because like, yeah, you can have so much fun with it, or you can be like, no, because I've also dated guys in the past that are like, I don't want to be in it. Like I've had that happen where I'm like, oh, okay, amazing.
They tell you they don't want to be online. Like,
yeah, like I had one guy specifically be like, hey, like I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bit of a concern. Like how much, if we end up dating, like how much are you going to share about us, like on. And I was like, oh, I was really glad that he said something, honestly, like in the beginning. But yeah, I don't know. So that's,
he was honest.
Totally.
It had somebody said that to me, I would appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
But I would probably be like, you're not for me.
For sure.
You're dating someone who is so public that you have to kind of like,
for sure.
You kind of have to sign a waiver.
Right.
Anyone sign a waiver, like you're going to be on my social media eventually.
Like a little bit at least. Like maybe you're not going to be doing skits with me, but like you're going to be around, you know? Like people are going to know you.
Comfortable with it.
Yeah. I honestly can't wait to hard launch.
I know. Fun. Both of us. By the time this episode comes out, there's a chance that we would have already done that because we're obviously filming much before I even post the episode.
Oh, amazing.
So check out both of our social medias because you may or may not see people on both.
Anyway, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, we're not. We're being, you know, we'll
but it's really
let the public know when.
It's really fun that you and I are in this like new like
we have
era.
A similar date of just, you know, appreciating people. We're not oversharing on certain things right now. But I feel like by the time this comes out, it'll be fine.
Totally.
Okay, well, let's move on to a note to younger self. So if little Zam was standing here, whatever age that you picture her, what would you say to her?
Don't be afraid to cry and feel. It's okay.
Aww.
I feel like younger me was, and again, like the little girl in me, it's really hard for me to cry still. And I think it's because growing up, I'm one of four and I was the second born. So technically I'm like the middle-ish child, but I was always the like peacemaker at the house. And like when my siblings would be crying or fighting, I would hold it in, even though I wanted to too. And I would like joke and try to make them laugh. And then I would go cry in the bathroom by myself so no one would see me. And I still do that as an adult. Like sometimes it's really hard for me to get the tears out. And people are like, how are you not crying? And I'm like, I swear I want to. I don't know. Like sometimes it's like I have to watch a sad movie like Marley and Me or like listen to Adele in the car to like get it out. Because then it's just like,
I have other friends like, who tell me that it's really hard for them to cry. And I have had like my best friend tells me she's jealous of me because I cry so much. And I'm like, I almost was like, no, it's the opposite. I'm like, no, I don't want to cry so much. Like I cry. I could cry right now. Yeah. Oh, I it's multiple times a week.
Oh my God.
It's not like a
totally
like a crazy cry. It's like I'll have like a tear drop down my.
Well, to be honest, I do that whenever it's really easy for me to happy cry, or like if I start telling you how much you mean to me, or what, like your birthday letter to me, like when I actually read it like a few days after we got home after Joshua Tree, it made me tear up. Really? Yes. And so like things like that, or like looking at the sunset, I always cry. If you go to the beach with me during sunset, I will cry.
You go. So you're not so
I'm not like, it's usually just like painful tears or like a good like sob. Like I do it like twice a year, if that.
But that's good. That's still good. Like, you know, when you want to get that out.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as you just like let yourself feel, and yeah, when it comes to a big sob like that, like I'm not doing that multiple times a week. I would be concerned if I was, but I definitely like if I tell someone how much I love them, like, and I really am like telling them from my heart, crying.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like a couple tears, but I just feel like it's so easy for me to cry. But
I think also just as women or people, like if you feel like crying, don't hold it.
no,
Let it out. It's so good for you.
cry.
Yeah.
It's okay, you're still masculine and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely invite people to cry whenever they feel like they want to cry. I think it's so powerful because what it is you're really actually releasing pent up energy and tension. And when you get it out, it actually feels really, really good. Like, try it. Even if you have to do it alone.
You'll sleep so good too.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell everybody where to find you, what you're working on, what you're doing, and yeah, take it away, Zam.
You can find me at HappyFitZam on Instagram and TikTok. What am I doing with my life?
No, it's fine.
Honestly, a lot of things are in the works. I feel like I have a lot of lingering ideas, series I want to begin. I'm going to say this. I haven't really said this publicly yet, but I want to like keep myself accountable. I'm going to start a cookbook slash like recipe. I don't know. I'm like a book of some kind.
Her food stories are great. So definitely give her a follow on Instagram for that. And then the dating more so on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
I love
TikTok is more of like my big sis advice page. I just yap to my phone in my car or wherever. Lots of vlogs. I want to be better about filming content. But anyway, follow along. Also just sharing more of like my journey of leaving like the social media management for brands and working as myself as like an entrepreneur. So sharing more of that, because a lot goes into like managing your own finances, money, again, finances, dealing with brands, all that. So
well, that's so fun. Well,
yeah,
people look out for the cookbook and all the other fun stuff you're working on. And thanks, guys, for being here as always. Love the overshares. Loved having you on.
Thank you.
And we'll be back for another episode next week. Love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.